Let's go ahead and see if she wants to run. Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt DIY here, back on the channel. I got something new for you today. Not working on the Subaru just yet, but I got something cool that some of you might not like, but some of you might think is pretty neat. It's actually something really old and an old project I've been working on that I'm looking to finish up today. And I think I'll be able to do it in this video. So we'll go ahead and dive in and show you what I'm talking about. Alrighty, folks, so if you're interested in old stuff that was built to last, stick around. This is going to be fun. I'm excited to get back to this and get to working on it again. If you're not and you're only here for the cars and stuff like that, you know, that's cool too. But what I have in front of me here is something pretty neat. This is actually maybe a 1960s, 1970s Onan generator. This thing is a 5 CCK. They made a lot of these. It's a 5 kilowatts, so 5,000 watts. It's got 120, 240, so it'll run the house. And then I can't make out the serial number. I don't know if I can focus that in for you guys to see. It looks like it's 076 and then maybe 0760. And then it's scratched off a little bit, so I can't really tell you what it is. And then 370. I'd like to know what year it is, but I can't really tell. It doesn't want to really focus in on that either. Let's see. There. If anybody can read that and know what year this thing is, I'd greatly appreciate it. But I think it's probably late 60s, early 70s is my best guess. So that would mean that this thing is roughly 60 years old, give or take. And guys, I'm here to tell you, this thing, this generator, will outlive any other modern generator on the market. You could put this up against any Generac, Harbor Freight, things like that. This thing will still be running long after the other ones are long gone. One of the reasons is, when you look here, you can see the RPMs, revolutions per minute. This generator only runs at 1,800 RPMs. Most of the units you'll find in the stores actually run at 3,600 RPMs because they have a smaller rear end. This one has a hefty rear end, so it has to spin at half the revolutions to make the same amount of electricity. So I've been looking for something like this for a while. I have an older gen over there. It's a 5,000 watt as well, but it's a 3,600 RPM. This one, I've been looking for one like this because they're quieter, they last longer, they run nice and smooth, and you know, this one actually has electric start too, so I can come out here, fire it up, and I got electricity. And I've also configured it to run off of propane, which it was meant to do originally, but it came with, well, we'll get into that a little bit later. But anyways, that's what this video is about. So I got to do a couple things. I need to put a muffler on it. I need to put a new set of points in it and condenser, which is for the spark system. If you're not familiar, stick around. I got to put new plug wires on because the ones on there are old and they're arcing a little bit. And I do have to do an oil change. And then that's really about it. And then hook it up to the wire that I have that's already configured for the house. That's currently hooked up to that guy. And hook up to this one so I can use this one to run the house. And then that'll be about it. And then I'll have a working 5 CCK, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited. I don't think I'll take you long for every minute here, but I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this thing down and get to where I need it to do some things. Get this lid off. Alright, so I got the lid off, and I was in here before working. I wanted to make sure this thing ran before I went and bought new parts for it and things like that. So that's what I did. It does run, and I'll show you guys hopefully by the end of this video it running. I've got some cloths stuffed in the heads there just to keep the dirt out. But I've got new exhaust gaskets I'm going to put on, and we're going to put a new exhaust system. And yeah, points and condenser, spark plug wires, and then I think we're going to run with the old coil for now. but we may switch that out eventually too. But I think for now we'll run with that. So we'll go ahead and dive in. Now, I mentioned it runs on propane, and that has how it was configured from the factory to be a tri-fuel model. Actually, let's see, not there, over here. So you can actually see the old writing there, how much oil it takes. Fuel, gasoline operation, it's going to take regular gas, and then there's a spark plug gap also for, where is it? For gas operation, right there, see manual. So this is actually gas operation. And that's going to be, the points are going to be set at 0.018 for gas operation. So that's natural gas or propane, in this case propane, where I live. So I can hook it up to a grill tank, or I can hook it up to a even bigger tank and run this. And I've got the original propane regulator here, the on and off cutout valve. So when you're cranking it, it kicks on the propane. When you stop cranking, it kicks it off. And then back here is how I've adapted it. Boom, 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 down to the propane tank that I have. And then I've got a special regulator. I did a little research and found this, which allows for 160,000 BTU output, which is enough, apparently, to run this guy. And so far, so good on that. I haven't put it under load yet, but we'll find out. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I think start with the points and the spark plug wires. So when I go ahead and get I gotta take this back cover off. So I'll take that off and I'll show you where the points are back there. We'll get those replaced, then we'll do the plugs and plug wires, and then we'll do the exhaust last, and hopefully we can fire it up for you guys. All right, guys, I wanted to mention too, this was pulled out of an old school building, I believe, or a church, one of the two. It was used for lighting and things like that back in the day. But anyways, when they tore it down, the guy that I got it from got it out of there with plans to use it at his house, but never did. So I got it from him for 200 bucks in non-running condition. And of course, I already told you I got it running by cleaning the points. And when I'm talking about points, it's actually these guys right here. Let me get this wire out of the way. So if you look down in here, I know it's hard to see. There's two metal things here that make contact. So let's see if I can get my screwdriver right here. And on the edge of that, see how this moves? So the engine runs, makes revolutions. This goes around and makes contact, and that's how the spark is formed every time. And they get dirty over time and need replaced. So we're going to take that out, replace that condenser, which is right here, as well as the points, and get some new ones in there and readjust them to the gap at 0.18. And then we'll run the spark plug wires, and then we can put this back on, and we should be done back here with this portion, and then we can move on. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's a little bit of close up what the breaker points look like, and you can see these two surfaces down here are the ones that come in contact with each other to make things happen. And these are still in working condition, so I'll keep them because in a pinch, you know, I can still use them. But I'm gonna put the new set in so we have a nice fat hot spark. And it's pretty fun working on this thing because it being American, you know, these, you don't have to ever guess what size. It's either 3/8, 7/16, or half. And there's not much else beyond that, which is pretty cool. It's an American-made beast, that's for sure. Back when they made stuff, pretty darn good. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get the new set of points, put these in, and I'll show you how to adjust it for the proper gap, and we'll put this part back together. All right, guys, so the point, we're setting the point gap. So I got these feeler gauges here. If you haven't seen them before, this is what they're called, feeler gauges. And I'm just looking for 0.018 right here. And I'm gonna shove these, it's a little hard to see. I'm gonna shove these between the points when they're open. just like that. And then I'm gonna adjust them using the adjustment screw, which is right in the center, right here. A little bit tough to get to, right there. And this will open and close them as needed to set them where they're supposed to be, and then I'll tighten the bottom and top screw. Alrighty folks, got the new points and condenser in there. You can see it's all shiny. There they are. The Chinese points aren't exactly as good as the old ones, but I think they're gonna work just fine. I guess we'll find out and see if they do or not, but yeah, I think they're gonna be good. So, yep, on to the next. Well guys, I had to take the points back out because, you know what, they just don't make things as good as the originals. So, if you look at these, on the bottom, here's the original, and here's the Chinese replica. I can sort of put it over top of each other, and it looks almost identical, right? But do you see what's different? This, which is part of the bottom contactor, let me try to get you a better view. That blue part, see that right there? So that's a piece of metal, and it rubs on the mounting screw. So all it's going to do is ground itself out. Like what good is that? So I got to put the originals back because you can see it goes way above and allows room for that screw. I'm just going to clean them up some more and put the originals back. I can't run it with the new ones, so those are going to have to be returned. So let me get that back in and then we'll move on. Alrighty folks, got the new muffler and exhaust pipe on. Got the exhaust on. Got the new spark plug wires. Those should be working out real nice. They're all routed nicely, so that should work out good. We tried to change the spark plugs, but actually the ones that I got are the wrong ones. Somebody sent me the wrong ones, so I got to return those. And also the points didn't work out, so I put the original points, just make sure they're really clean. So I'm gonna hook up a battery and the propane, and we're gonna see if she runs. All right guys, I'm pumped. Moment of truth. We're gonna fire up this old girl and probably let her run a few minutes while we clean up, and then I can get the oil changed and get the house hooked up to her. So let's go ahead and see if she wants to run. So on the other side of this door, she's running. It's pretty quiet in here compared to my other one that practically shattered the house. So I'm pretty stoked. runs great. The off switch works fine. I did notice that I sent the point gap actually wrong. It's supposed to be 0.020 and I did 0.018, but not going to be a huge difference. It runs great. So next we're just going to wire it up to the house and then also to an electrical plug so that we can put a load on it. And that'll be about it for now. So go ahead and do that next. Alrighty guys, there you have it. Had her running for about 10-15 minutes on the load. She carried it just fine. Got everything buttoned up. Got the house plug wired to it, as well as a 120 volt plug outlet, just so I can plug stuff in the garage, lighting or stuff like that. The little girl runs like a dream, so she's all wired, ready to go next time we have an outage, which I'm excited about. Just gonna get a bigger propane tank to hold it, so it can run on that. But other than that, she's good to go. I know this was a different kind of video, guys, and maybe I didn't include all the details, but just kind of wanted to show this old girl and some things I did to it. I got to get some spark plugs and some new points that actually fit this thing, and I'll put those in as well. But otherwise, she's ready to go and help us out next time we lose power. Alrighty there, thanks for watching, guys. Working on an old generator. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I like working on these old things and making them run. 60 years later, the thing's still producing power on most of its original parts. That's amazing in my book. So anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like it down below, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, or if you have one of these, any additions or anything I should look out for, as I'm an owner of one of these. And I'd like to also let me know if you have one, or link me to it. That'd be cool too, so we can have a discussion about these old girls. But anyways, guys, until next time, get out there, do it yourself.